gonna check the past, present, future energy. If this does resonate, like, share and subscribe. It's always appreciated. I'm gonna pull the cards first, so it might take a sec. We've got the Chariot on the back of the deck. First card out, Devil. Ace of Swords, Three of Swords, King of Cups, Knight of Cups, Page of Cups, Five of Swords, Queen of Cups, Seven of Swords, Page of Pentacles, the Empress, Eight of Swords, Four of Wands, Eight of Cups, present energy, future energy, Seven of Pentacles, the Star, Knight of Swords, the Chariot, King of Wands, the Hierophant. The Devil. There was a delay. Something, it feels like something went completely left. Something you were creating, it wasn't working, or you ended up having to leave a job, you had to change location. Something you were doing fell apart. It feels like something crumbled in your reality, that you were forced out of a situation, a certain environment, whether it's a job, it really could be anything. Something that you do on a daily, something that was a habit, that felt like part of you. Feels like you've been pushed out of an old way of doing something that you kind of had no choice. But to have to find a solution to a problem that you've never had before, it feels like being pushed out of a job and then having to work out how to be self-employed, or being made redundant and having to find a new way of receiving money, or learn a new craft, go back to some kind of study. It feels like you had to learn on the job, like in terms of not an actual job, but like learning as you go, that there was no time for you to have time to work out a solution. It feels like because of this thing that felt like a problem, it led you to go within. 4-4. It led you to go within. It's like this happened so that you could actually find your own truth. It feels like you were doing something that, although it was comfortable, although you were good at it, that it wasn't fulfilling, or it wasn't part of you. Maybe it's like a job that you've studied hard to get. You're the best in that job, in that place, that work environment, the best at what you do. But it was like, it was preventing you from looking deeper within yourself, seeing some kind of truth about yourself, and something about that truth is like you was meant to be doing something in the physical that truly aligned with you, and you would never have realized this, or maybe taken action on this, if things hadn't gone left. Three of Swords. Three of Swords. It feels like heartbreak from change. Feeling like you've had to defend yourself, had to defend your situation. Heartbreak from loneliness. Hard work and loneliness. Eight of Pentacles, the Hermit. Yeah, 522. It's like how loneliness can cause chronic stress. The same way that certain addictions, certain things damage our health, like how smoking damages health, that loneliness can also cause that we're not made to just be alone. Yeah, it can cause anxiety. It's like a certain period of time was needed to be in isolation. It led you to mastering your emotions. It feels like you were left with no option but to spend time alone, to work something out by yourself. That it taught you what you really wanted. It showed you what you really wanted, what you were passionate about. It feels like spending time alone, you got to connect to your inner child. The things that you used to do, it feels like there could have been some answers when it comes to your gifts, in the things that you used to do as a child, things that you went back to when you had the time to, because something in your normal daily routine was thrown on its head. The Five of Swords. It feels like it's come with a lot of confusion, a lot of worry. Are you doing the right thing? Did this happen for a reason? Or did something go wrong? Have you failed at something? Or was this all meant to be? Are you exactly where you're meant to be? Or have you... It feels like questioning if you've like lost the plot in some way. Like, are you crazy to be dreaming what you're dreaming about? Are you crazy to be creating what you're creating? Is it even possible? Should you just go and try and go back to our old way of doing something? Realizing that maybe the old way of doing something was broken down on your behalf, that it wasn't for you to be doing. There's something about seeing where you stand now compared. It's like maybe your situation isn't as good. Like if it's a job that you're getting really high pay for and then you're starting something from scratch, maybe it's like you're receiving less or something like that. But looking at yourself, it's like where you stand, can you to see the difference in your energy, in the way that you're showing up, glowing up since something did end. It's like, as much as it feels like on paper that you should have something a certain way, 52, all the penguins, all the penguins, all the penguins, penguins, 52, Queen of Cups. Alright, I'll come back to that. I'll come back to that. I'll come back to that. Queen of Cups. Present energy. There's somebody coming in that you could be with for a long time, maybe a lifetime. It's got the potential for that, it to be like that. It feels like the role that you were playing in the past, that it stopped you fully tapping into your true self. And actually, it's like your people can't find you if you're not being you. And there's something about someone that you're going to be meeting, it feels romantic, a life partner, that it's going to become clear why. It's like you couldn't meet this person if you wasn't you, if you was playing a different role, or if you was tuning into different energies to accommodate some kind of job or something. You know how it's like we become the people that we're around the most. It feels like you could have took on the weight of a situation, of a business, of a job, of some kind of... Maybe it is a relationship that ended. It could be have been a relationship. Something where you couldn't fully be yourself. There's been some shift here, and it's like you wouldn't be meeting this person coming in if you hadn't tapped into your true self, if you hadn't remembered yourself in some way. And it feels like that remembrance has only happened because of these truths, this heartbreak, and this time where you've had no option but to show yourself what you're really made of. 111. Present energy. Seven of Swords, Queen of Cups doesn't usually come through like this, but what I'm getting with this is feeling like people don't deserve your love. It feels like a desire of yours to receive love in some way, to receive whatever this is. Maybe it's not romantic. It could be like you don't feel like people are worthy of your services, worthy of your energy. It doesn't have to be a relationship sense, but it is coming through like that for some of you. But the energy is just that of love. It's like not wanting to give yourself to things because of feeling like things have been taken from you, or you've been abandoned in some way. But it feels like that keeps you in lack. It feels like your true nature is to give, is to move from this open-hearted place, 111. But there's something about deceiving yourself to protect yourself. It's like by telling yourself that that's not how you really are, that's not your true nature, it prevents you getting hurt in some way. But actually it's like, by doing that, by closing your heart down in that way, it's keeping your external, your physical, the physical small. It's restricting you from having all that you truly deserve. It feels like this is something you've realised. Things could be happening where situations are coming in that just open your heart, that you find yourself just in your heart space. Even if it's uncomfortable, it feels like situations that maybe you can't get away from. Yeah, the Tower, 1212. It's like things to test you where you got no option but to drop into that place. I feel that it's been a lesson so that you can withstand certain changes. Things that you once reacted to or once got stressed about, anxious about, I feel that you could be feeling very grounded and surprising yourself. Like look at you like just chilling in the storm, that kind of energy. I'm seeing someone sitting in like a chair with a cocktail, just like shades on, and some madness happening around. Like, you know, it's just like not even taking a bit of notice, like anything could be going on. Like the tower's falling and you're just chilling. Realising you can always centre yourself just with your breath, coming back to yourself in some way. It feels like this is something that makes you feel restricted, an equal desire to love with an equal desire to keep yourself to yourself. There's been opportunities for you to reach out and network with people, build a community, to maybe jump into things, put yourself out there. It feels like you tell yourself that you could be too busy to do this, that there's more to do. But actually it's because of some fear of emotion, of how it makes you feel to put yourself out there, why you might not be doing that. Of course, it's a general reading, this ain't going to resonate for everyone. But it's like there's opportunities there. It feels like you're ready to change, that you could be getting pissed off with yourself, that you keep feeling that urge to do something and then your feelings stop you doing it. It's like enough's enough. It's time for change. 222. Commit to your purpose. Shine your light. It feels like you're about to just have enough of playing small, have enough of keeping yourself in some kind of box. All of a sudden you could just be saying things to people. It's like how maybe you'd think things and not say them. It feels like your throat chakra could be clearing. You could just be letting them have it, saying what you think. Like people could be a little shocked around you, thinking that all of a sudden you're opinionated. It feels like you've always had the opinions, the thoughts that you've had. You've always had the same beliefs or had certain feelings about things. It feels like you just would maybe not say everything in its entirety or just change your wording to people please in some way. It feels like you haven't got any energy left to sugarcoat anything. It's like, I said what I said, I did what I did, I am who I am. And giving yourself permission just to jump into the spotlight. It's like putting your own light on yourself. I feel that something to do with your purpose has motivated you to cultivate confidence. That you know it's going to help with something. That you need to be sure of yourself. Be feeling good about yourself in order to... Ooh, that is beautiful. The most beautiful picture of the moon just come up. It just turned with the 4 zeros, 12 o'clock. And it's like it's like a grey and black picture of the moon. It just looks mad. The world. We're in blue moon, Ella Fitzgerald again. She come through the other day. Maybe something about the blue moon. There could have been some shift. You could be feeling like you could have felt things intensely, like you were really slowed down over that period of time. Still now you could be feeling that. New moon 14th. Yeah, it feels like it brought up a lot of feelings, seeing how you were battling yourself when it comes to love. 5 of Wands, the lovers. You could have, it's kind of like flashback energy, reminiscing on the past, how things went, how things were. An energy of sorrow for the past relationships. It feels like a want to love, but then also like feeling that you need to shield yourself from love in some way. It feels like your guides are working you through this. It's like trust the process. Things are shifting. There's been rapid shifts. It's just a case of having patience, trusting that. It's like your choices are changed. There's huge transformation. 52. There's opportunity to travel. It feels like, yeah, look at this, man. This is future energy. And this just says, okay, another picture's come up. That's crazy. I want to keep turning the camera around. I need like 6 different cameras in here to see the cards, see these pictures coming up, because it's like an Alice in Wonderland looking doors, like some grand doors, red and white candy stripe, some crazy Harry Potter like knocker thing on the door. And we've got the Chariot, the King of Wands, and the Hierophant. Some 5D energy, guys. It feels like you're just shifting, like there's been a complete shift in your energy, a huge transformation. Something that you set out to do is happening in the near future, and it feels like you're gonna, it could cause some kind of breakdown, some kind of, it's like a breakdown about your breakthrough. It feels like you've had a breakthrough or so many breakthroughs, and because of maybe distracting yourself from these feelings that you actually want this or maybe want that, that you haven't even really registered or reflected on all these breakthroughs, these transformations. Column of Self, we've got the Devil, the Queen of Cups, and the 7 of Pentacles. Feels like you trust yourself when it comes to changes, that you know you have the power to make anything pleasant. That even in the worst of situations, that just by going within, that you can regulate, self-regulate. Feels like complete trust in yourself, love for yourself unconditionally. Releasing fears of change, fears of purpose, fears of self, fear of showing up, fear of expressing yourself. Personal environment, Ace of Swords, 7 of Swords, and the Knight of Swords. If it feels like you've already been moved out of a situation, so if it feels like whatever this is, it's just not a place you can thrive. Either if this is where you live, like where you're living, where your home is, or where you're working. It feels like people are sending a lot of chat your way, Something has to end. It's like it's too heavy on you emotionally. It feels like moving away from a place or a group of people. Realising the truth of a situation. It feels like it's hard for you to stand in your truth in this environment. It feels like people could be pretending, or not pretending, but like, yeah, 222. It's like entertaining you for the sake of it. Entertaining you for the sake of entertaining themselves when it comes to maybe they're engaging in conversation about the things you enjoy or the things you like or who you are. But it feels like that thing of like kind of pulling someone in to either find out information or just to keep hearing more of the things that others don't agree with so that they can talk about that in some way. Feels like you know this, that it doesn't feel like a nice energy. You could be picking up on this. It feels like you can't relax in a certain environment, whatever this environment is. It's like it needs to change. It may have already changed, and that may be this thing we were talking about that had to go. There is a fear of heartbreak, a fear of starting over, a fear of shining your light, a fear of are you too much? That's what's coming through. It's like, are you too much? It's maybe not are you enough. It's like, are you too much? Maybe you are for certain people, but it doesn't mean you should be less. It's like, own that. You're that for a reason. You're you for a reason. It feels like it's essential for whatever this is. Chariot, King of Wands, Hierophant, Death. It's like, tell me, like, whatever this future situation is, it's like you can't be moving with no Chariot, King, Hierophant, Death if you're too less. It's like you need to be too much here, guys. Like, look at this. Look at this. King of Pentacles. Known factors, King of Cups, Empress, Chariot. It's like you know it's time to move on from something. For some of you, it does feel like actually moving location, changing homes, moving out of somewhere, changing where your days are based, if that's in terms of like work, or maybe it's just you're living where you're living. You know that you're ready for this now. It's like you know that you're ready for this emotionally. You can handle things that you couldn't before. It feels like because you know you're ready for it, it's bringing a little anxiety because it's like you're kind of waiting on something, like a tower situation or something to happen. Like, oh, I know I've got to go. I know it's time to go. It feels like questioning if you should make the move to go, or if you're being prepared to go. Keep seeing 52. Check that for yourself. It's like you know how much you've evolved. You can see how much you've mastered something, how you've transcended something, overcome some kind of obstacle. Hidden Destiny, Knight of Cups, Eight of Swords, King of Wands. It feels like the things that you face, the things that you've gone through, that it's a feeling of being of trapping yourself, keeping yourself in illusion. That you could have felt trapped, felt like it's difficult to express yourself, or felt like it's a strange energy. It feels like a fear of showing up, and it feels like for deep-rooted reasons. A fear of expressing yourself. It feels like this stems from something deep. It's giving like that witch wound energy. Like that you've all maybe always had certain fears, always had certain tendencies or behaviours that it's like it feels like they didn't feel true to you, like it's limited you from really being who you are. But it's like this self-imposed restriction. It feels like an energy of like, yeah, I don't even want to say what's all coming to my mind, but let's keep it general. It feels like this is a battle that you've had with yourself, or it feels like something's been working against you. That's how it feels. But it may be this belief, it may be a belief that stems from somewhere else, something else. It could be something generationally, it could be something in terms of past life. King of Wands. Whatever this thing was, it's like facing it, overcoming it, like not letting it stop you. Has been necessary for what you're about to do, how you're about to be showing up. Feels like running something at a next level in terms of business, what you're passionate about, helping others, people coming to you for help, instruction or mentorship of some kind, or transforming yourself, transforming others, like helping others to transform themselves, that kind of energy. It feels like the only reason you're running at this level is that you're your own experiment. Like all the obstacles, all the problems that you've had. And it feels like these don't even feel like external problems, that it does feel like there's external problems, but it feels like a battle within the self. That you've used yourself as like your own experiment. What works for you? You know how to change things, how to transmute things, shift, get out of things. You can understand many different levels, different vibrations, different perspectives, different lifestyles, different behaviours. Because of being trapped. It's like if you've never been trapped, you can't learn how to get out. I'm seeing someone in a maze. It's like you've been in the craziest maze your whole life, and it's like you're the maze and having to find your way out through yourself. And it feels like you could have been in this maze for a lifetime. But now it's like you know every way in and out the maze. So when then someone else is lost in the maze, it's like, who to call? I hear Ghostbusters. I don't know what you got to. I just hear my guys. Oh, stop, man. Okay. It's been an emotional roller coaster for real. That's how it's looking. Page of Wands, the Four of Wands and the Hierophant. Short term. Future, guys. It feels like a commitment coming in. This penguin energy, yeah, cross the bridge. This bridge as well, man. What is this bridge? San Francisco. Feels like having a family, a long-term commitment, laying foundations with somebody that is like-minded, but it's very playful. It feels like that stress of the maze is just never going to be again. It's like you can relax. It feels like an energy of how a child would sleep knowing that their parents just sitting there next to them, or it's like how it's just that peaceful energy, or like how a pet would fall asleep on your lap. Like it's just like, it feels like your whole energy shifts. It's like just being at peace regardless of what's happening. It's like, it's a very caring, nurturing energy. Somebody's coming in, it's very caring, nurturing energy. It's long-term commitment. It feels like somebody you could have a family with or expand something with. But it's very playful, light-hearted. Yeah, end of patience. This is coming in. It's something very passionate. Ace of Wands. What's this then? Long-term outcome with the Five of Swords and the Eight of Cups. We always get, I don't know why, it always looks glorious, and then there's the Five of Cups and the Five of Swords and the Eight of Cups. So it's always in the long-term outcome in the world. End. It could go either way. It could go either way. It feels like to let these fears take, if these fears take over, where it's like you hold yourself back from connecting, that it could end in some kind of emotional turmoil and regret. Because it's like, resisting some kind of transformation because of the fear of being vulnerable emotionally. That you could focus on money, focus on the logical side of things a bit too much. It's like you're being asked to surrender to your dreams, to your feelings. Feels like water sign energy. The moon, yeah, it feels like that Pisces energy. It's like getting into that place of even dreamy, fantasizing again or something. Not fantasizing like, well, yeah, slyly. It's like getting back into what you, romanticizing your days, romanticizing yourself. Letting yourself feel. A romantic partner you can trust, excellent advice that comes from the heart, getting involved in a cultured or creative endeavour, honourable, devoted, mature, warm-hearted. The orange feathers just come on the TV, 20 past, psychic energy. Take steps to ensure the financial security of your children or other loved ones, making wise investments or planning for retirement, honouring family traditions. Let go of belief systems that no longer work for you, an important life-changing event, a situation that leads to significant opportunities. I'm going to leave it there, but if this did resonate, like, share and subscribe, and I'll catch you soon. Sending so much love.